Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment here to preview the 2020 AFC Championship game featuring the Tennessee Titans versus the Kansas City Chiefs here on Tighten Up Thursdays. I hope all of you at home are tightening up well this week. I know I am. And we're going to get into a little bit of trouble today. Because this week I'm kind of been letting my emotions get the best of me. I'm starting to get excited and I'm starting to get mad. And that's a very, very dangerous combination. You see, we didn't have, to me, much to lose in the previous two matchups. Against the New England Patriots, hey, we just have to go out and give it our best effort. We can end the dynasty once and for all, but if we don't, it's no big deal. I'd love to, but it's no big deal. Against the Ravens, we're incredible underdogs, 10-point underdogs. No one's expecting us to win this game, no pressure. And we got it done. And now we are so close to rectifying the wrongs that have persisted this franchise for 20 years. For 20 years we're talking about. That's what's on the line. And now I'm starting to get nervous. And now my heart's starting to get invested. And now I'm starting to get scared and anxious and this and that and happy and sad. It's all on the line. You see, it's all on the line now. And the headline this week is that no one is giving us a shot. And in a very, very bad way. And in a different way than last week. Last week, it wasn't disrespectful. Because we were talking about a Baltimore Ravens team that without a doubt was the best team in the AFC. NFL, that's debatable. I will take the 49ers over them this year. But in the AFC, without a doubt, the Ravens were the best team in the regular season. They went 14-2. They were unstoppable. They had won 12 in a row. I, as a Tennessee Titans fan, picked the Baltimore Ravens. That was the pick to make. That was the choice to make. Everyone had to make that choice. Unless if you just felt so good about this team. And hey, props to you. I understood that. But now, after having beat that team, for people to still dismiss this team is getting me pissed off. Extremely pissed off. Because, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I am more confident in this game than I was the New England Patriots game. A game that I had us winning by 1 point. But still, I am more confident in how we match up against this team than how we matched up against the Patriots and that dynasty and that legacy that they had behind them. And certainly the Ravens and the balanced offense that we faced last week. This Kansas City Chiefs team coming off of, yes, a very impressive comeback victory. Yes, they are formidable, but they have their issues. In 1 week, not even 1 week, throughout this week, how people have been so dismissive of this team has pissed me off extensively. Here's the bottom line. The Titans are facing a worse team this week than they faced last week. They're facing a worse defense this week than they faced last week. And to me, and apparently this is a very controversial opinion, They're facing a worse offense this week than they faced last week. And let me tell you why. Now, this was very controversial when I said this on Twitter, that this Kansas City Chiefs offense is worse than the Baltimore Ravens offense in 2019. I don't know why this is shocking. Because number one, this is backed up by any and everything outside of the passing game. They had more yards. They had 12 more touchdowns. The Ravens had 58 offensive touchdowns this season. The Chiefs had 46. They had 500 more total yards. They put up more points consistently. They blew the doors off of people, and they benched their starters in Week 17. And they benched their starters multiple times in the fourth quarter in multiple games this season. The Ravens had a better offense. They ran for more than double the amount of yards than the Chiefs ran in 2019. The Chiefs ran for 1,400 yards in 2019, and the Ravens ran for 3,200 yards, more than double the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs threw for 1,500 more yards than the Ravens threw for, but I'm always going to take 18 more hundred rushing yards than the 1,500 more passing yards. Actually, more like 1,400 more passing yards, 1,400 more passing yards every day of the week. Because that is a balanced offense, and that was proven by their 14-2 record, by their dominance throughout this season, by their being the number one seed. That was a scarier offense we faced last week. Now, this is an explosive offense. This is an explosive passing offense. There ain't no run game in Kansas City. They ran it with Damian Williams maybe under 10 times last week. Maybe it ended up being a little more than that because they actually had ran him a lot in garbage time. But I know throughout the first half, they ran him like 5 times max. This is a one-dimensional offense in Kansas City. And any offense that is one-dimensional is worse than an offense that is one of the best two-dimensional offenses we've seen in the modern NFL era. That offense last week was scarier than the offense we're facing this week. Because you have to dedicate so much against the run and then be afraid of what's going to happen behind you because Lamar Jackson is able to throw that seam. Lamar Jackson is able to throw to Marquise Brown. Lamar Jackson is able to throw to Willie Snead. Lamar Jackson is able to throw to Hayden Hurst. Able to throw to Nick Boyle. Able to hit his running back in the flat. That was a multifaceted, balanced, scary offense that's going to hit you in the run, hit you in the pass. Chiefs, passing all day, passing all day, passing all day. Okay, we know exactly what you're gonna do. We're not scared. We're gonna have our DBs back, and look, you're gonna win some battles now. You're gonna score your fair share of touchdowns. But you're not gonna beat Logan Ryan and Adoree Jackson and Kevin Byard and Kenny Vaccaro all day long. That ain't happening. That is not happening. Especially in the 22-degree weather. 22, by the way. I don't think that's a coincidence. In the 22-degree weather, which is being forecasted for this Sunday's game. And meanwhile, we can debate the offenses. Fine. If you want to take your potent, explosive Chiefs passing offense over the balanced Baltimore Ravens offense, if I can't convince you that the threat of a 1,200-yard rushing quarterback who also threw for 37 or 36 passing touchdowns on the season, if I can't convince you that that quarterback, in addition to a 1,000-yard running back in Mark Ingram and a very good backup running back in Gus Edwards, if I can't convince you that balanced offense is better than the Chiefs offense, okay, I can't convince you. But let me convince you of this. That Chiefs defense stinks. And the difference between the Baltimore Ravens defense and the Chiefs defense is more vast than the difference between the Chiefs offense and the Ravens offense. If you believe that the Chiefs offense is that much better, what about the difference in terms of the defense? Specifically the rush defense, where the Kansas City Chiefs allowed 4.9 yards per carry this season. The fifth worst running defense in the league, allowing 128 rushing yards per game. Can I interest you in some of that? Does that intrigue you? Does that get you thinking for a moment? As they now prepare to go up against running back Derrick Henry, who is rushing this team to the stars. Derrick Henry, who has rushed for over 180 rushing yards in the last 2 games. This week, Derrick Henry is facing a rushing defense that ranked 28th, either 27th or 28th in the league. The Ravens and the Patriots were ranked 5th and 6th. Those were 2 good rushing defenses that he just faced. And he obliterated them. Now, they probably weren't 5th and 6th if you actually look analytically, because they were ahead in so many games. Not many people have to run the ball on them. I'll grant you that. But still, even if you're looking at yards per carry, the Ravens and Patriots had good rushing defenses. Maybe not great, but certainly good. At least league average. Chiefs are awful. Despite leading in games consistently, they're awful against the run. And if that can convince you, if it's still, you're just like, no, this is the Tennessee Titans, they can't go to the Super Bowl. Nick Wright, that Nicholas Wright over on FS1, over on First Things First. And the only thing first I'm seeing is the first one to be a moron. Nick Wright says, I close my eyes and I just can't see the Titans in the Super Bowl. And you know why? Because it's not going to happen. If everything I just told you, you can't believe it, that's not good enough for you. If you're still not convinced that the Tennessee Titans can beat the Kansas City Chiefs, that is just something you just can't believe. Who was the last team in the world, in the universe, in the galaxy? Who was the last team to defeat the Kansas City Chiefs? It was the Tennessee Titans. In the entire world, in the galaxy, in the universe, in this dimension, that dimension, the last team, football team to defeat the Kansas City Chiefs was the Tennessee Titans. No one has done it since. That's all I'm giving you. So, with that said, we move to the injury report, where there is good news over there. Jayon Brown, limited for both Wednesday and Thursday's practices, as was Adam Humphries. Very good news. And from what the clips I could see and some of the reporting that was done, I expect Bo to be on the football field. Now I expect Adam Humphries to be a little limited. I don't think they're going to throw him out there, to his full extent with the way. I mean, Khalil Freeman hasn't been doing much overall, but, with him coming down with the big catch he had last week, I still expect him to hopefully be active and get a snap or two. And then Tajay Sharp, same thing. Excuse me. So, I still would expect for Adam Humphries to be a little bit limited when it comes to being on the field. But I think Jayon Brown, I think he's going to be out there a lot. I think he's going to be running around and hopefully making the tackles and covering Travis Kelce because that's what we're going to need him to do. And I feel like you can actually pretty much reserve him for that. I mean, you still want to definitely put a Money Hooker on Travis Kelce, a little Kevin Byard on Travis Kelce, a little Kenny Vaccaro on Travis Kelce. But I would really feel most comfortable if Jayon Brown is out there running around Travis Kelce. And that's something that he should, feel comfortable enough to do. I don't think that requires much of him in terms of what his body can do right now. So that's something I would definitely look out for. So yes, Jayon Brown and Adam Humphries look to be back, and that's fantastic. Rashaan Evans and Adoree Jackson were also limited during Wednesday and Thursday's practices, but I don't think there's really much to know there. I think those are just Adoree Jackson, that's his lingering foot injury, and Rashaan Evans, I don't think that's much of anything. So fantastic news when it comes to the injury report, and then we get to this Sunday's game, which will be played at 3 o'clock, 3:05 Eastern, 2:05 Central Standard Time. Again, I'll be live after that game. I'm not sure when. It should be right after. I'm considering watching it in a location downtown. Okay, I'm considering that, and then if I did that, it would take me some time to come home, and if they win, I might celebrate a little bit afterwards, and it might take me some time to recover from that. And then I also want to watch the NFC Championship game. So it's a very possible scenario. In fact, I would actually go ahead and plan for me not going live until after the NFC Championship game. I feel like that's a good plan to have. But I might go live right after too. And I might just record this a quick little video, just a quick little reaction, win or lose, and then go live later on that night, because I know you guys will just be looking for anything. Like, oh my God, just give me content. I just need content. I just need content after this AFC Championship game. So I'll try to provide some of that. So we move to my 3 tighten up keys to the game. And look, I'm going to be beating a drum here. There's not much different as it pertains to my tighten up keys to the game, because they pretty much have been the keys for these whole playoffs. I mean, they really haven't changed much. Key number 1, feed the beast, Derrick Henry. I mean, continue to feed this man, especially as you're going against this Kansas City Chiefs team and the poorest run defense that they have. And oh, by the way, I didn't mention this, defensive tackle Chris Jones, the stud, nearing star defensive tackle Chris Jones for the Kansas City Chiefs, has been out both Wednesday and Thursday practices. He still might play on Sunday, but he'll be hobbled even if he does. And he is much more of a pass rushing defensive tackle than he is a run stuffing defensive tackle. But he still has a presence in that run game, and it's pretty much him and Reggie Ragland, and then maybe the occasional Derek Nadi, that's pretty much it in terms of the real legitimate, maybe Tano Passignon. But other than that, I mean, they don't have many run stuffers up front, many good ones. So, I mean, with Chris Jones being hobbled, I mean, you just got to continue to feed Derrick Henry. I mean, there's a viable scenario in this game where he rushes for over 200 yards. I mean, if you look logically, he will. I'm not going to say that because this is just a ridiculous streak that he's on, and there's no way he can continue it, you'd think, and I hope he does. But if the last 2 weeks are any indication, he's going to rush for 250 yards. Because, again, those are 2 good rushing defenses that he faced, and this is a bad rushing defense now. But I'll say he's going to get 150. I'll say he'll actually go down. I'll expect us to actually throw the ball for more than 80 passing yards in this game. That's what I expect. I don't know why. Because with 2 straight weeks, we did the exact same thing. Nothing changed offensively. We got a little more touchdowns, a couple more. But, I mean, nothing changed in terms of the rushing and passing yards. So maybe, I don't know why I'm expecting that. But I'm expecting regression to the mean. And for Derrick Henry, it's end up with like 150 rushing yards, maybe 160. And that would be still very strong. And as long as Ryan Tannehill can add in the 200 passing yards that he should, have for this game, then that would be enough. Okay, that would absolutely be enough because it would drain the clock and do the things that we need to do. Tighten up key number 2. Actually, what was my tighten up key number 2? Let me pull it up again. I already forgot what it was. and it just scrolled past. It is to get an early lead. And this is not completely necessary. I do believe we'd be able to come back against the Chiefs. In fact, I believe that we absolutely can come back against the Chiefs. This is an Andy Reid-led team. And even with Patrick Mahomes at the helm, they've given up their fair share of leads. They gave up a lead last year in the AFC Championship game. Was it last year? Were they ahead? I'm pretty sure they were ahead against the Patriots. And then it was in the regular season game where they came back and they still lost. But I remember one of those games, at least against the Patriots came back and beat them. At the very least, one of them. And this is still an Andy Reid coach team, okay? And any Andy Reid coach team, no lead is safe, bro. They were up against the Indianapolis Colts. I know as Titans fans, we were watching that game. We were so upset back in the Andrew Luck era. And I can't believe that era's over, but that's just the way it is. Where the Chiefs were up, whatever ungodly score they're up. It was like 31 to like 10. And the Chiefs blew that lead with Alex Smith at the helm. They blew the lead against us, 21-3 with Alex Smith at the helm. And even against Patrick Mahomes against Tom Brady, they blew the lead. They are very much capable of blowing the lead. Even if we get behind, they might blow the lead. But I want to get an early lead because I want to run that football. And I do want them to pass the ball. I want to make them more one-dimensional. Someone in the chat just said the Chiefs came back both times against the Patriots. Yeah, so it was the Chiefs that came back against the Patriots. Never mind, I take that back. But if you get an early lead against this Chiefs team, they will become one-dimensional. And if you're one-dimensional against us, you're going to have problems. You cannot just say, okay, we're going to line up and just throw the ball. Not when our secondary is at near 100%. And Malcolm Butler is still not out there right now. I understand that. But with the way Tremaine Brock is playing, what's the difference? In fact, Tremaine Brock is playing better in coverage right now than Malcolm Butler was. Butler was more of a presence in the run game in terms of tackling and his physical ability. That's about it. So, with the way our secondary is playing right now, if you think you're just going to throw the ball all day on Logan Ryan, Adoree Jackson, Kevin Byard, Kenny Vaccaro, Marty Hooker, you're wrong. It's not going to work. They're going to get their stops. They're going to get their passes defended. They're going to get their third down stops. They're going to force you to third down. You might punt a little bit because you have Andy Reid as your head coach. You might go for a fourth down and you might fail. We will get stops. We're not going to be this weak Houston Texans team you saw last week. That is absolutely ridiculous. I am tired of Chiefs fans tweeting me, telling me, look at what we did to the Houston Texans. We are not no Houston Texans. This is a real football team and a real defense you're looking at now. Not one that's headlined by J.J. Watt and that's it. No, this is a real defense that has real parts, multiple first-round picks that are making impact for weeks. For weeks. Okay? So I don't want to hear about what y'all did against the Houston Texans. This is a real secondary, real defense y'all facing now. And we're going to limit you a little bit. And I still expect for Patrick Mahomes to throw for over 325 yards. Maybe over 350 yards. But it's going to be 22 to 24 degrees. It's going to be cold. And our secondary, our DBs are going to make plays. And as long as we don't get behind by too much, Derrick Henry's going to have success against this weak Kansas City Chiefs front. The game will be slowed down. Actually, it's going to be quick. It'll be slowed down in terms of the pace of the game. But that clock's going to be winding down. So you'll look up, 2 hours will have passed, and it will already be the fourth quarter, and the Chiefs will say, oh, snap, we're in trouble. We have to score it 2-3 more times. And then that's the formula that we want. And then the last tighten up key to the game is stay aggressive offensively. Now, it's going to be cold, which is good because that'll limit the Chiefs' passing offense a little bit, but it's also going to limit our offense a little bit. And Ryan Tannehill, okay, he's been playing well. Okay, I'm not going to doubt that. But Ryan, whatever his middle name is, Ryan Fitzpatrick Tannehill. I don't know what his middle name is. Ryan Tannehill played in Miami from Texas A&M. And I just don't have much of a recollection when it comes to him in cold weather games. The last two, he's thrown for under 80 yards. Not his fault. We just haven't thrown the ball. Okay? We just haven't thrown the ball. But it's intriguing. And I can remember him having some close contests with the Patriots and maybe winning one late in the season. Maybe, I think, even one in New England. But I just don't have much in terms of the database, in terms of Ryan Tannehill and cold weather games. Will he be able to get it to the receivers? Will the receivers be able to catch him and make plays? A.J. Brown comes from Ole Miss. Is he ready to make contested catches in the cold, make strong catches in the cold, make plays in the cold? Especially with the way he and Corey Davis, I mean, they're going to be a little rusty right now. They ain't been catching that football. A.J. Brown's still a rookie. He's a beast. He's a beast. And someone said his middle name in the chat, Ryan Timothy Tannehill. Look, I understand A.J. Brown, Arthur James Brown. I don't know his name. I'm just going to say Arthur James Brown. He is still a rookie, and he had some drops early this year, right? When he wasn't in the rhythm, when he wasn't in the flow, and now he's going to be a little rusty again. So I want to get them out of that rust. I want to knock that rust off. I want to do the things that we need to do in order to make sure our passing offense is still what it needs to be, because there's still a scenario, even though I believe we're going to get out to an early lead, there's a scenario where the Chiefs get out to an early lead, and we're going to have to respond to that. We're going to have to make a play or two, and hopefully Tannehill and A.J. Brown and Corey Davis are prepared to make those plays. Corey Davis, I'm not too concerned about. He played in Western Michigan. He's used to catching the cold. But I would still be a little afraid for Tannehill and A.J. Brown. So hopefully they're still ready to go, ready to roll, and that is the case. So, and someone in the chat says Ryan Timothy Tannehill the third. I didn't know he was the third. If I was Tannehill, I would have put the third on there, man. Tannehill, Hilliii. That looks legit. I would have kept the third if I was him. So, with all of that said, who do I have in this football game? This is what I expect. I do not believe we're going to get out to an early lead. Well, maybe a small lead, like a touchdown lead. I do not expect it to be a 2-touchdown lead. No, it's going to be back and forth action early. Okay, little Chiefs doing a little something, us responding, us sticking to the run game. But the run game will be consistent. It's going to have success in this game. Derrick Henry will end up with 150 to 160, maybe 170 yards, and rush for three touchdowns. I expect for Ryan Tannehill to add on to that figure with 2 touchdowns himself, one of which will be to Jonnu. I think Jonnu's going to hit him again, and the other of which will be A.J. Brown. I expect A.J. Brown to get his first touchdown catch in the playoffs. I expect for the first half to be one team being up by anywhere from 4 to 7, but it's going to be close, okay? But then in the second half, I think we're going to turn it on just as we did against the Oakland Raiders, just as we did against the Houston Texans, although they had their starters out, that's fine. Just as we did against the Indianapolis Colts to a certain extent, just as we did against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and just as we did against the Kansas City Chiefs themselves. And ultimately, when it comes to that second half, you're going to see some plays being made. You're going to see a Dory Jackson make a pass defended or two. You're going to see Logan Ryan add one. And you're going to see Kevin Byard come down with another crucial interception. You're going to see us turn the Chiefs into a one-dimensional team. Patrick Mahomes makes some incredible plays. You're going to see Harold Landry make a bigger play. And ultimately, and finally, you're going to see, after 20 years, the Tennessee Titans return to the Super Bowl. 31-27. And I'm more confident in this game than I was the New England Patriots game. And I'm just as confident in this game as I was the Kansas City Chiefs game 2 years ago, when I was one of the few that called the upset at that time. So, there it is. There's my prediction. We're going to see what's going to happen. And let me tell you right now, if we win this game, it's going to be a party. Oh, it's going to be a party. We're going to see what happens in the NFC Championship game. And for as confident as I am here, people, I'm already almost shedding a tear right now. I already dreamt this. I dreamt this week, man. I literally dreamt this week. I liked how he matched up against the Patriots. I liked how he matched up against the Ravens. Actually, I didn't like that because I still picked us to lose, but, still, I liked it. I like how he matched up against the Chiefs. In fact, I really love it. The 49ers. And look, I hope that they choke against the Packers, man. I hope that they choke. But I'll tell y'all right now, if we get in, hey, it's going to be fun. It's going to be 2 weeks of excitement, all this, and I'm going to be here for it. But the 49ers and how they match up against us, that is going to be, like I said, I'm going to pick us anyway. But, oh, man, the 49ers are giving me nightmares. I am so much more afraid of the San Francisco 49ers and how they... Because they're essentially us. They have a quarterback that plays, very well, but efficiently and focuses on trying to be efficient, although Garoppolo definitely throws more interceptable passes. They have a great run game. We have one running back. They have an assortment. They have better wide receiver play, at least. Probably better wide receivers. I think better wide receiver play. Better tight end play. Offensive line plays, that's half and half. That's a split. Better defense. More athletic, more, what's the word I'm looking for? More volatile, sure. But, we're more disciplined defensively than they are, but they're better overall, more athletic, more dynamic. The 49ers are giving me nightmares. I mean, I'm telling y'all, if we make it here, look, we still got a long ways to go. That's the most difficult matchup we will have had. And y'all know how much I respected the Ravens, but the way we match up, because at least I knew the way to beat the Ravens. I knew the way. The way was to force Lamar Jackson to throw his wide receivers outside. I can't say how to stop the 49ers. The only way is you have to disguise coverages. You have to force Jimmy Garoppolo into some mistakes. That's literally it. And first thing you have to do is you have to stop the run. That's the number one thing you have to do. And then after that, that's what you have to do. And I think we're capable of that. Kyle Shanahan's going to come with that fire, going to come with that heat. That's going to be a battle right there. So if we win here, it's not over yet. Okay, and I'm not. And that's how. I'm also saying that to say this. I'm not picking us this week out of bias. Like, I'm telling you, I'm just picking us just as confident as I was against New England Patriots. If I was biased, I would have picked us last week, and I did. I literally just believe, as I spelled out time and time again, with this fact, that fact, that. We just match up well with this team. We're the antithesis of the team. We're the antidote. We're the kryptonite to this Kansas City Chiefs team. The way they're built, we'll beat the opposite way, and that's why we're going to beat them for the 5th consecutive time. Right? This is why we're just built. We're built against this team. How porous they are against the run. How much of a one-dimensional passing team that they are. And how the strong point of our defense is our passing defense. And how, our corners can win one-on-one. That's perfect for us. But next, or if that 49ers matchup comes, man. So I would root for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers because I think that they're frauds. And it'd be facing like they are more two-dimensional offensively. They're able to run the football, and the Chiefs are not. But to me, it'd be like facing a weaker Chiefs team. They're better defensively, but I would not be too concerned about the Packers. I think we'd beat the Packers in Lambeau, to be quite honest with you. So if we win here, and look, we got to cross that bridge before we get there. Root for the Green Bay Packers, because I'm telling you, especially if the 49ers beat the Packers, and that means that they will have proven themselves once again, man, that's going to be a very difficult test and very difficult matchup. So even if we win here, there's still a huge, 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 huge juggernaut on the other side that I thought is unstoppable. But I'll pick us anyway because that's just what I'm doing. So we have one super chat. It came from CLL Titans. He said, you should go to the Super Bowl if the Titans make it. And I considered that, but I'm also cheap. But what I will do, I will definitely go to a Super Bowl party downtown. Without a doubt, yeah. But I'd have to, like, if I'm going to go to Miami, I'm going to buy a ticket to go to the game. If I just want to watch at a bar in Miami, I'll watch at a bar here. Why am I going to go to Miami for that? Although there is a Super Bowl experience and all that, but it's not that big of a deal to me, not at this stage of my life. All right, so we'll answer just a couple questions, and then we'll get out of here. We'll answer the substantial beard said, as sports fan entertainment, do you think Nick Wright looks like a Pidgeotto from Pokemon? And yeah, that is pretty accurate. All right, Alec Darnell said, as sports fan entertainment, should I bet the plus 240 money line? Hey, I would, man. Look, you're talking about a plus 240 money line that's more than doubling your money. And if you believe, like I believe they're going to win, or even if you don't believe that, if you think there's a 40% chance that they're going to win, that's a great deal. That's a great deal, plus 240 money line. I might bet it myself. I don't like betting money lines. And by the way, let me go ahead and give my other prediction. I think the 49ers are going to win, and that's one of my guarantees. They're going to win and cover the spread. Packers just aren't on their level, unless if they just don't show up. And if they showed up last week against the Vikings, they're going to show up this week against the Packers. There's a little more pressure, but not much more pressure than that. So give me the 49ers against the spread, and then obviously give me the Titans against the spread. And I like both of those for guarantees. Like, if you want to bet those against the spread, I'm all in on that. I'm doing that this week. So that's what I would do. All right. Rahul Raha says, as sports fan entertainment, do you think the Titans can prevent these quote-unquote cheap touchdowns from Mahomes and be exceptional situationally? And, to a certain extent, but, again, and we've been doing much better lately in this. Our red zone defense, these playoffs have been fantastic. And you saw the Chiefs, they would have these lengthy drives for the most part last week. And then they go to the red zone and they would go down to third down. And then Mahomes would just run around and then find Travis Kelce in the middle of the defense. And I don't think that's going to work against us. I feel like we're going to have better coverage than that. The Texans are just so booty. They weren't able to stop it. But no, we're going to provide better defense than that. So to a certain extent, yes. But the Chiefs are going to score. And it'd be foolish to assume that they're not going to score. All right, Landon Wilson Music says, as sports fan entertainment, not looking ahead, but I love our matchup with the Packers. Yes, I do too. Like I said, I think they're worse than the Chiefs. I think they're worse than the Ravens. And I think they're the same level as the New England Patriots. I think they're the same level as the New England Patriots this season. And we beat all three of those. Or we will have, if we make it there. So, well, hopefully we make it there. All right. So, with that said, is that going to do it for me? I'll answer this one. This is a good one. All right, Cannon Curtis, and we'll end with this. He says, as sports fan entertainment, which offensive weapon on this Chiefs team do you see as the biggest problem, Kelce, Hill, or Williams? It's heavy between Kelce or Hill because those are the two that have killed us historically. We still probably don't have a good answer for Travis Kelce. But Tyreek Hill, he had like 157 yards against us earlier this season. Although, there was a point in the season where Adoree Jackson, I think he played for that game, but I think he was a little banged up, and I think you could tell in that game. So, let me say, giving us the biggest problem. Tyreek Hill is just too inconsistent, though. So, I'm going to say Travis Kelce. I'm going to say Travis Kelce would be the one that would give us the biggest problem. We know how Titans have had success against the Tennessee Titans. So, that's going to do it for me. Again, I'll be back on Sunday to recap either the Tennessee Titans punching their Super Bowl ticket or falling just short. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm anxious, and everything in between. We're going to find out. It's going to go down. But again, I'm more confident in this game and how we match up against this team than the previous two matchups in which the Titans got it done. Until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.